everyone. A very good evening to each and everyone out there, and I welcome you all to this amazing platform of PW English Medium Class 9th and 10th and to your Phoenix batch. So, we are doing one shots of all the chapters from your NCRT, and today we are going to do the one shot of the chapter surface areas and volume. So, what all is there in this chapter is basically cube, cuboid, all the three-dimensional figures that you have. We are going to discuss the curved surface area or the lateral surface area, the total surface area and the volume of each and every figure that we have in this chapter, along with combinations of figures, melting and recasting concepts, some extra phenomena of this question and chapter basically related to. So we are going to do all the questions. So let's start with it. So basically, when we talk about surface areas and volume of solids, now what does solid over here means? You might have heard this in your science. So the objects having a definite shape and size are called solids, right? So when you just move around, if you look in the room which you are sitting, right, this is in a form of cube or cuboid, you can say, depending on whatever the dimensions are. You celebrate your birthday, you used to celebrate your birthday when you were a kid by wearing caps, right? That was conical in shape, so that was a cone. You might have played Rubik's Cube, in which you have to match the colors, right, in a cube by rotating and revoluting it. So that is again an example of cube. You know, sugar crystal, sugar cubes are example of cubes. The mathematics book that you have in front of you right now is an example of cuboid. So all these things that we see around us, right, you might love to play either cricket or basketball or football. The ball is a sphere, right? So basically, all the figures that we see in our day-to-day life are a combination of solids, or we can say a particular solid, say cube, cuboid, sphere, hemisphere, and whatnot. So these are solids, people. The very first thing that we have is cube. So when we talk about cube over here, so basically there are three formulas which we are going to learn in this particular chapter. First of all, it's of total surface area. Secondly, it's of lateral surface area, and then we have the volume, right? Let me just give you a brief description about what is the difference between all these. Imagine this room which you are sitting inside, all right? Just look on this room all over the walls and everything. Okay, so when I talk about the lateral surface area of this particular cube, or I can say this particular room, people, that will only and only include the four walls which you can see. The wall in front of you, the wall at the back, the wall on the left, the wall on the right? Where we used to get the whitewash done, those are the lateral surface area. So when I talk about lateral surface area, that just means the wall surrounding me, not the upside, not the down wall, but these walls which are there around, these are lateral. So when I talk about total surface area, people, now these lateral surface area, that means these four walls along with the ceiling and the floor. That means all the faces of this particular room will be considered, and that is what is known as our total surface area. And you are sitting inside the room, you are breathing. That means this room has air inside it, which is fully filled, right? So basically, the air which is present inside this particular room determines its volume, right? If you fill up your water bottle, that is 1 liter, that is its volume. So volume is something that is the amount which can be capacitated in a particular solid. So that forms your volume. So the difference is this: the lateral surface area, when we know we talk about cube, all the faces of cube are squares. So sorry. So all the faces of a particular room, if we say, if a cube, that are square. I'm so sorry. Next we have cuboid, right? So when we talk about cuboid, all the faces in a cuboid are rectangles. Again, cuboid has three different formula. One is for the lateral surface area. For the lateral surface area, we have the formula of 2HL plus B. I think I should have some water. Just give me a second. Alright, so when we talk about the lateral surface area of the cuboid, that lateral surface area includes the four walls. That's it, right? When we talk about the total surface area, that includes the ceiling again and the floor, and its volume is LBH. So lateral surface area is given by 2HL plus B. Total surface area is given by 2LB, that is length into breadth, breadth into height, height into length, and the volume is given by LBH, right? So when we talk about So when we talk about these formula, pause. Alright, so basically over here, h means the height of the cuboid, L means the length of the cuboid, and the breadth means B means the breadth of the cuboid. So the next thing that we have is cylinder. For cylinder, the lateral surface area, basically this curved surface area is your 2 pi r h. The total surface area is given by 2 pi r plus h or h plus r, and the volume of your cylinder is given by pi r square h, right? The next thing that we have is lateral. Now sphere. As we know that sphere has no, top, no bottom. It just has a spherical outer shell, right? So basically there is no total surface area or lateral surface area for sphere. There is only one thing, that is surface area, and that remains the same, that is 4 pi r square, and its volume is given by 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now this is simply for your volume, right? The next thing that we are having over here is what? Is hemisphere. So when we talk about hemisphere, people, again, if we have a sphere, half of sphere is hemisphere, and that is given by simple lateral surface area by 2 pi r square, total surface area by 3 pi r square, and volume is given by 2 by 3 pi r cube. Now in hemisphere, we have total surface area and curved surface area, because students, when we talk about curved surface area, we are just talking about this particular surface. But when we are talking about total surface area, that means this is also included. So for lateral, only this part. For total, this part plus the upper circular region as well. That's why it is 2 pi r square and 3 pi r square. Now for cone, there are three different things. As we know that whenever we refer to cone, people, we always refer to as a right circular cone. Now what does that right circular cone mean? That imagine a right angle, rotate it 360 degrees, and it will form an imaginary cone, right? So if I have a right angle triangle and I just rotate it like 360 degrees, so the shape which I will get is an imaginary cone, right? So this particular cone has three things. If you talk about base, perpendicular, and hypotenuse, which is here, it is referred to as radius, the height, and the slant height. Same as the hypotenuse is calculated by under root of b square plus p square. Similarly, your slant length, that is L, can be calculated by under root of r square plus h square. So the lateral surface area is given by pi r L, the total surface area is pi r L plus r, and the volume is 1 by 3 pi r square h, right? So this is your overall sheet for your formulas and everything. Let's start by solving some questions. Now this question says that 3 cubes, each of volume 216 centimeter cube. Now there are 3 cubes, and those 3 cubes each have a volume of 216 centimeter cube, are joined end to end to form a cuboid. Find the total surface area of the resulting cuboid. So basically the very first thing that we have is, imagine this is the first cube. Then along with this first cube, we put our second cube, and along with this second cube, people, we just put up our third cube. So basically, as we can see that when we place these 3 cubes all together, they form what? They form a cuboid. They form what? They form a shape known as a cuboid. Now basically, when we know that each cube has a volume of 216 centimeter cube, that means a cube is equals to 216, because the volume of a cube is given by a cube, students, and then a cube is 216, that means a is equals to 6 centimeter. Now we know that side of each cube is 6 centimeter, so we know that this will be 6 centimeter, people, right? Its breadth will be 6 centimeter. But when we talk about length, it will be 6 plus 6 plus 6, that will give you 18 centimeter. That will give you what? 18 centimeter. So whenever 2 cubes, 3 cubes, and whatsoever are joined edge to edge, the resultant figure that is formed is a cuboid. And for that cuboid, the height remains same, the breadth remains same, but the length of the cube changes, and that becomes a cuboid. Now what you have to find out? The total surface area. Now total surface area means total surface area is equivalent to what? To LB plus BH plus HL, because this is the case of a cuboid. So we just have to put twice of length into breadth, that means 6 into 6, plus breadth into height, that means, sorry, length into breadth, that means 18 into 6 people, plus breadth into height, that means 6 into 6, that means 6 into 18. Right? So I hope that this thing is clear with everyone. Okay. 72 plus 36 plus 72. So this will give you what? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 7, 1, 7, 2, 14, 15 and 3, 18. So 2 into 180 will give you 360 centimeter square. So this 360 centimeter square will be the total surface area of our figure. I hope that this question is clear with everyone, right? Let's see the next question. So it says a vessel is in the form of a hemispherical bowl mounted by a hollow cylinder. So basically this is the vessel which has a hemispherical end, and on that hemisphere there is a particular cylinder which is mounted. Now what does mounted means over here? That means on it. Right? So basically the diameter of hemisphere is given, the height of the vessel is given, we have to find the capacity and the inner surface area. Alright people, so the very first thing, whatever will be the diameter of the hemisphere, the radius will be 7. If the diameter is 14 people, the radius will be 7 centimeter. And it is very clear from the image that if the radius of hemisphere is 7 centimeter, so the radius of the cylinder will also be 7 centimeter. Right. The next thing which is given to us, the height of the entire vessel. See, we just have to find the capacity first of all. Capacity means the volume. Right? Capacity over here means what? The volume. The second thing that we have to find out is surface area. Alright, that we will do in second part. So first of all, for the capacity, we need to find out the volume. And for the volume of a cylinder, we need to find out the height of cylinder. So just see people. If we have a circle, or let's say if we have a semicircle, hemisphere, right? So in this hemisphere, if this is the radius of the circle, so this is also the radius of the circle. This is also the radius of the circle. This is also the radius of the circle, and this is also the radius of the circle. Agreed? So basically now from here to here, if this is 7 centimeter, so from here to here also it will be 7 centimeter. If this hole is 13 centimeter and from here to here it's 7 centimeter, so we can directly find out the height of the cylinder. That will be 13 minus 7, and 13 minus 7 will give you 6 centimeter. So whenever there is what, first of all, the radius is not given for the cylinder, radius will be same as the cylinder of the radius of hemisphere. Secondly, the height of the cylinder is not given, but the height of the entire body is given, entire vessel is given, and the radii is given, and we can directly find that out. So the very first thing that we have to find out is the capacity of vessel. So capacity will be equivalent to volume of hemisphere plus volume of cylinder. Right? So capacity will be equivalent to volume of hemisphere added to the volume of cylinder. So what is the volume of hemisphere, people? It is 2 by 3 pi r cube plus what is the volume of cylinder? Pi r square h. If you feel like taking common, you can take common, because pi and pi are common, r is same in both the cases. So you can take, if you want to calculate separately, you can calculate separately too. So this will become 2 by 3 into 22 by 7 into 7 into 7 into 7 plus 22 by 7 into 7 into 7, and the height over here is 6 centimeter. Do not put 13 centimeter. So 7 and 7 get cancelled, people. 7 and 7 get cancelled. So we have what? So we just have to multiply this. 2 into 22 is 44, 7 into 7 is 49 divided by 3, plus over here we just have to calculate 22 into 7, 6 are 42. So when we will multiply, divide and add, we will get the final answer, that is the capacity of this particular vessel that we are having. Right. The next thing that we have is the inner surface area. Now, when we talk about, see, if it's a vessel and the thickness of the vessel is not known, or we can say is negligible in the case, we just have to find out the surface area. That means inner and outer both, right? So, basically the inner surface area. You might wonder that whether the surface area will be lateral surface area or total surface area. So, people, whenever there is, the thing is not mentioned that whether you just have to calculate the lateral surface area or the total surface area, it is just mentioned you have to calculate the surface area. So that simply means you just have to calculate the total surface area, right? Total surface area will be given by CSA of cylinder, because the part that is, this is the vessel which is open at the top and this part is also not closed, right? So we will only be taking the curved surface area of the cylinder. We just have to keep the vessel in mind. We just have to keep that if we take out the surface area of this vessel, what all will be included. We have to calculate the total surface area of the vessel, but that does not mean we have to calculate the total surface area of each and every solid that is there in the shape, right? So basically over here, to get the total surface area of this particular vessel, we have to add CSA of cylinder plus CSA of hemisphere. And both of them added together will form the total surface area of this particular vessel. CSA of cylinder 2 pi RH, CSA of hemisphere 2 pi r square. If you want to take 2 pi r common, you can take. Inside you will be left with RH plus r. Let's put the value 2 into 22 by 7 into radius, that is 7, height of the cylinder, that is 6, and radius, that is 7. 7 and 7 cancel. So we have 44 into 13, and after multiplying you will get the answer to the question. Right? So this will give you the inner surface area of this particular figure. I hope that this thing is clear with everyone. Let's move forward. Now the next question says that there is a pen stand made of wood in the shape of a cuboid, right? There is a pen stand and basically there are conical depressions. Now when we talk about depressions in these particular chapter, that means a cavity, a hole. To basically, if we have a pen stand, so that pen stand needs to have a hole so that this pen can stick to it, right? So the hole is needed. So a pen stand made of wood is in the shape of a cuboid with 4 conical depression to hold the pen. The dimension of cuboid is given, the diameter of each depression is given, and the depth, that means depth means height. If the depth is given to us, people, that simply means the height is given to us, right? So we have to find the volume of wood in the entire stand. So volume of wood in the entire stand is the volume of cuboid subtracted by the volume of 4 conical cavities, right? So basically, first of all, volume of cuboid, people. Volume of cuboid is calculated by 15 into 10 into 3.5. That means 15 into 35. We have 5 5s are 25, 5 3s are 15, 16, 17, and then we are left with 35. So 5, 12, 3, 4, 5. So 525 centimeter cube is the volume of this whole cuboid. But we do not require the volume of cuboid, people. What do we need? We need the volume of this pen stand. The next thing that we have to calculate is the volume of cone. Volume of 4 conical depression. That will be equals to 4 into 1 by 3 pi r square h. Because volume of one cone is 1 by 3 pi r square h and there are 4, so we will put 4, right? So basically the diameter is given as 1 centimeter. So we will simply take the diameter as, 22 by 7. Radius, see, diameter is 1, so radius will be 1 by 2 into 1 by 2, and the depth, that means the height, is given to you as 1.4, which we can write as 14 by 10. Correct? So let's solve it up. 2 and 2, 4 cancel. Right, 7 2s are 14. Okay. So we are left with nothing, I guess. So in the numerator we have 2 into 22, that is 44, and in the denominator we have 3 into 10. So just 44 divided by 3, people, that will give you 3 ones are 3, 14, 3 fours are 12, minus 0, 2, 23, 6 are 18. It will give you approximately 14.6 divided by 10 will give you 1.46 centimeter cube. Now this is the volume of 4 conical depression. So what is the last thing, students, that we have to calculate? The volume of entire wood. So volume of stand is equivalent to volume of cuboid subtracted by volume of 4 cones. So it is just that 525 subtracted by 1.46, right? So you will be left with 523.54 centimeter cube. And this will be the final answer for this question. I hope that this is clear with everyone, right? Let's move forward. Now over here in the next question, what do we have, people? From a solid right circular cylinder of height 12 centimeter. So right circular cylinder means nothing but just this, normal cylinder, right? Height of the cylinder is given to you as 12 centimeter. The very first thing, just keep on drawing the figure if it is not given. Write down whatever the measurements are given to you in this particular thing and then go ahead. The radius of the base is given to you as 5 centimeter. Right? Now basically a right circular cone of the same height and same base radius is removed. Now from this particular cylinder, people, there is a cone with the same circular base and of the same height. So basically this part is removed from this cylinder. They are asking the volume and the total surface area of the remaining solid. So first of all, volume will be equals to volume of cylinder, people, subtracted by volume of cone, right? If we have to find out the volume of the remaining solid, so we just have to find out the volume of cylinder subtracted by the volume of cone. So the volume of cylinder is pi r square h minus 1 by 3 pi r square h. The radius is same, right? The height is same. If you want to take out, you can take out common. You can take out pi r square h common. Then you are left with 1 minus 1 by 3, which is equivalent to 22 by 7. Radius is, pi, the value you have to put is 3.14 into radius square, that will be equals to 5 square, that is 25. Height is given to you as 12 centimeter. 1 minus 1 by 3 will give you what? 2 by 3. So just put 2 by 3 and 3 fours are 12. So basically 25 into 4 will give you 100. 100 into 3.14 will give you 314. 314 into 2 will give you 628 centimeter cube. So 628 centimeter cube will be the remaining volume of this part. Basically, the remaining volume means this part we are talking about. This part we are talking about, right? Okay. The next thing they have asked to find is, let's see, they want to know the total surface area of the remaining solid. So the total surface area of the remaining solid will be what, people? First of all, see the curved surface area of cone, because if the depression is made but the area has to taken out, right? So the total surface area will be equivalent to curved surface area of cone plus curved surface area of cylinder, right? This is one thing. But we have to add one more thing, people. Now what is that? Because this base is as it is. And in curved surface area of the cylinder, we haven't included this. So we have to add the area of circle, that is the base of the cylinder. Now CSA of cone is pi RL. CSA of cylinder is 2 pi RH plus pi r square. You can just put the values, people, and find out the total surface area of the solid that is here in front of you. I hope that this thing is clear with everyone. Right? So this simply means pi r L. You first of all have to calculate for L now. Right? So L will be equivalent to 12 under root of 12 square minus 5 square, which is 140, sorry, plus 5 square plus 25 under root of 169, and you can directly get 13 centimeter as the slant height, or you can say if you consider as the hypotenuse of the other part. Let's see the next question. If the volumes of two cones are in the ratio of 1:4, right? What is given? Volume of cone 1 upon volume of cone 2 is given as 1:4. That simply means 1/4. And the diameters are in the ratio 4:5. People, just listen to me very carefully. If the diameters are in the ratio 4:5, the radius will also be in the ratio of 4:5. Right? So basically what is given to you, D1 upon D2 is 4/5. You have to find out the ratio of their heights. So you know what is the volume of cone, people? How do you calculate the volume of cone? What is the volume of cone? 1/3 pi r square h upon 1/3 pi r2 square h2 is given as 1/4. 1/3 is cancelled. Pi and pi is cancelled. As I have told you, the ratio of diameter is given to you as 4:5. The ratio of radii will also become 4:5. So radius 1 will become what? 4 square upon 5 square into h1 into h2 is equals to 1/4. Right? What is 4 square? 16. What is 5 square? 25. h1, h2 is equivalent to 1:4. Right? So let's solve it up. So let's take it there. So this will become h1 upon h2 will become 25 upon 64. So what will be the ratio of the heights? The ratio of the heights will simply be 25/64, or we can write, because there is again a ratio between radii and diameter. The double of radius forms diameter. So we can cancel the 2, right? And the ratio will again be same. Let's move forward to the next question. The surface area of a sphere is 2464. If its radius is doubled, what will be the surface area of the new sphere? So in this type of questions, you do not have to find out the radius. See how you have to do it. The surface area is given to you as 2464. Basically, 4 pi r square is given to you as 2464. Now, they are saying that the radius is doubled. For example, earlier the radius was r, now the radius is 2r. The radius is doubled. If earlier it was 2, then now it's 4. If it was 18, now it's 16. If it was r, now it's 2r. So, surface area will become what? 4 pi r square. That means 4 pi 4r square, or we can say 4 into 4 pi r square. We are already aware about the value of 4 pi r square. We just have to put this value over here. Now it will become 4 into 2464 centimeter square. So without even calculating the radii of that particular sphere, we have calculated what? We have calculated our surface area for the new sphere when the radii is doubled. Next question. The dimension of a metallic cuboid is given. If it is melted and recast into a cube, find the surface area of cube. So basically students, see, you might have done clay modeling in your junior classes in nursery prep and everything. So from the same clay you can make a ball. From the same clay you can make a cat. Right? So basically from the same clay you can use it to form different shapes. The shape will be different, but what is same in both the cases? From the same clay, if I make a circle, or I can say a ball, and from the same clay, if I make a cat, What is same in both of them? The shape is different now, but the clay which I have used is same. That means the volume is same. So whenever there is a concept of melting and recasting, people, you just have to think upon that the concept is same. Basically, the volume of both the things is same. So basically, cube, the volume of cube, let's find out. Sorry, volume of cuboid. So volume of cuboid will be L into B into H. Again, that is C. Whenever it is given in 100 into 80 into 64, that means length into breadth into height automatically. So let's not solve it up. We'll not multiply it. Let's not solve it up. Now it is melted and recasted into a cube. Find the surface area of cube, right? So basically, we know that volume of cuboid will be equivalent to volume of cube, right? That means 100 into 80 into 64 will be equivalent to a cube. Very first thing, right? Now basically, let's see. Okay. So this is equivalent to a cube. Now this after multiplication will give you what? 64 into 8, 8 fours are 32, 3, 8, 6, 48, 49, 50, 51. 512, 512,000 is equivalent to a cube. Or you can simplify it, even if you don't want to multiply it, 100 can be written as 10 into 10, 80 can be written as 10 into 8, 64 can be written as 8 into 8, which is equivalent to a cube. So this is 10 cube into 8 cube is equals to a cube. So from here, the side comes out as 80 centimeter. So from here, the side comes out as 80 centimeter. Now what you have to find? Surface area. If nothing is written in the question, that means total surface area. So total surface area becomes what? 6a square. 6a square becomes what? 6 into 80 square. That means 6 into 6400. That means 0, 0, 6 fours are 24, 2, 36, 37, 38. 38400 centimeter square. Final answer. As simple as that. Let's move forward to the next question, people. How many spherical bullets can be made out of a solid cube of lead whose edge measures 44, each bullet being 4 centimeter in diameter? So what they are saying, people, that there is a cube, right? And this cube is entirely made up of lead, right? And the measure, the edge of the cube is 44 centimeter. Now the next thing they are saying is each bullet being 4 centimeter in diameter. So from this big cube, we are making small spherical lead shots, right? And the diameter of each lead shot is given to us as 4 centimeter. They are just asking how many such lead shots can we make? So one thing that you have to keep in these type of questions in mind is that basically when we talk about from a cube or cuboid lead shots are made, so the volume of this entire cube will be equivalent to the volume of all these shots. That means n into volume of one shot. So basically we can say that volume of cube, people, will be equivalent to n into volume of shots. Volume of cube is 44 cube. N into what is the volume of sphere, people, because if they are lead shots, right, they are solid spherical lead bullets. So that will be 4 by 3 pi r cube. Let's not multiply it. Let's just write it by multiplying like this. Let's bring this 3 by 4 over here. 22 by 7 when brought over here will become 7 by 22, and this will be equivalent to n into r cube is given to you. What is the radius? The diameter is 4, so the radius will be 2. So this will become 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 is equivalent to n. So we have just replaced the value, shifted everything to the left hand side and calculating the n. So basically this will get cancelled out. 2 into 2 by 11 we have 4 again by 11 we have, I guess we have it. So it will become 11 into 11, 121, 7 into 3, 21 is equals to n. So 121 into 21 people, 121, and then we have 242. So we have 452. So we have 2541. How many lead shots can be made? 2541 lead shots can be made out from one cube which measures 44 centimeter. Right? So 2541 bullets can be made out. Let's move to the next question. Next question says a 21-meter deep well with diameter 6 meter is dug and the earth from digging is evenly spread to form the platform of this length and breadth. So we have to find the height of the, so basically when a well is digging, so that is in the shape of a cylinder. So the volume of earth, or we can say the volume of soil that came out and it is made a platform like this, like a cuboid. So the volume will be same. So what we can say, that volume of earth taken out and the same earth, basically the same soil is used, right, will be equal to the volume of platform. Right? So volume of earth will be, that is the cylinder. That means pi r square h will be equivalent to length into breadth into height. What is pi, people? 22 by 7. The radii of your diameter is 6, so radii is 3 into 3 and the height is given to you as 21. Length is 27 into 11 into height. Let's bring everything down. So 7 and 21 get cancelled at 3. So let's bring it down. So this becomes 22 into 3 into 3 into 3 divided by 27 into 11 equals to h. 27, 3 into 3 into 3, 11 and 2. So the height of the platforms comes out as 2 meters. So the height of the platforms comes out as 2 meters. So if I dig out the earth and from the same earth, or we can say from the same soil, if I am making a platform, people, that platform will be in the shape of a cuboid. And if it is in the shape of a cuboid, that means the volume will be same, and that's how we can calculate. Let's move forward. The surface areas of two spheres are in the ratio 16:9, the ratio of their volume. So what we have to find out? We have to find out the ratio of their volumes. So basically we know that surface area 1 upon surface area 2 is given as 16 by 9. That means 4 by 3 pi r square, sphere, the surface area. That means 4 pi r square upon 4 pi r square is given as 16 by 9. That means R1 square, R2 square is 16 by 9. That means R1 upon R2 is 4 by 3, or we can say 4:3. We have to calculate the ratio of their volume. What is the ratio of volume, people? 4 by 3 pi r cube. So volume 1 upon volume 2 is equivalent to 4 by 3 pi r1 cube upon 4 by 3 pi r2 cube. 4 by 3, 4 by 3, pi and pi cancel. R1 cube is 4 by 3 cube. That will become 64 by 27, or we can say 64:27. Now this will become the ratio of their volume. The next question says a cylindrical pencil sharpener at one edge, sharpened at one edge, is a combination of. So if we have a pencil, people, right? If we have a pencil and this pencil is sharpened at one edge. So what is the shape of a pencil? Cylindrical, right? And if it is sharpened, so a cone and a cylinder. So a cylinder and a cone will be the combination of this figure. The next is saying a shuttlecock. So when we talk about shuttlecock, people, shuttlecock basically is a frustum and a hemisphere. So option number B. Next is a gilly. So we can see that this center part is a cylinder, this is cone, this is cone. gilli danda types, gilli, right? So basically, two cones and a cylinder will be the correct answer for the question. Next question, a plumb line. Sahul is a combination of, as you can see, a cone and a hemisphere. So a hemisphere and a cone, option number A, will be the correct answer for this question. Let's move forward. It is saying in a right circular cone. So let's make a right circular cone, people. So in a right circular cone, the cross section made by a plane parallel to the base is. So if I make a cross section, right, which is parallel to its base. So these two figures will be divided into two parts like this, right? And they are asking that the plane will look like, that means this shape will look like what? This shape will look like a circle. As simple as that. Right? Let's move to the next question. A solid piece of iron is in the form of a cuboid of dimension this and molded to form a sphere, the radius of the sphere. What will be same? Melting and recasting. So we know that volume of cuboid will be equivalent to volume of sphere. So volume of cuboid is length into breadth into height. Volume of sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. So what is length? 49. What is breadth? 33. What is height? 24. 4 by 3 into 22 by 7 into r cube. Let's take everything there. So it will become 49 into 33 into 24 into 3 into 7 divided by 4 into 22, which will give you r cube. So what we have? 11 twos are 11 threes are. Then we have 2 12. Then we have 4 threes are 12. So what we are left with, let's expand them out. So 49 is what? 7 into 7. 3 is 3. 1 more 3. 1 more 3. 1 more 7 is equals to r cube. Let's take a group of 3 and 3. So r will be equals to 3 into 7, 21 centimeter. So what will be the radii? The radii will be equivalent to 21 centimeter. I hope this question is clear. Let's move forward. The radius of the largest right circular cone that can be cut out from a cube of edge 4.2. So basically, if there is a cube, people, for example, this is a cube, and from this cube, we have to cut out the largest right circular cone and we have to find out the radius. So basically, the edge of the cube is 4.2. The largest cube that can be cut out, let's make a cube first of all. All right. All right. Now from this cube, we have to cut out, people, a cone of the maximum radius, right? So basically, this will be the base because this is the maximum that is possible. This will be the base. So the cone can go like this and this kind of, right? So if this particular part is given to you as 4.2, so the radius will be equivalent to 2.1 centimeter. So the radius in centimeter of the largest right circular cone that can be cut out, because the diameter has to be equal to the side of the cube and the radius will be half of it. Let's jump to the next question. A metallic solid sphere of radius 9 centimeter is melted to form a solid cylinder of radius 9, the height of the cylinder. So it's a metallic solid sphere, people, radius 9. So we know what? That the volume of sphere will be equivalent to the volume of cylinder. One thing is clear. Volume of sphere is given by 4 by 3 pi r cube is equals to volume of cylinder, and the volume of cylinder is given by pi r square h. Pi and pi will get cancelled out. Let's put rest of the values. So 4 by 3, what is the radius? 9 centimeter. So 4 by 3 into 9 into 9 into 9. What is the radius of this? 9 into 9 into h. So 9 and 9, 9 and 9 will get cancelled. 3, 4 3s are 12. So the height will be given as 12 centimeter. Simple. Melting and recasting simply includes your question of, you know, same volume and easy calculation. Let's move to the next question. A rectangular sheet of paper is rolled to form a hollow cylinder of height 40 centimeter. The radius of the cylinder is. See people, there was a page. For example, there is a sheet, right? If you roll that sheet, that will be formed as a cylinder. Very simple thing, right? So basically, the rectangular sheet of paper, this is 40. Okay. So the rectangular sheet is something like this. So the height is 40, right? And the breadth is given to you as 22 centimeter. So this sheet of paper is people rolled, right? And this is rolled to form a cylinder like this. The height of the page will still remain as the height. Now what will this 22 centimeter becomes? This 22 centimeter becomes the circumference, this part. This is what becomes 22 centimeter. So what we can say, 2 pi r is equals to 22. 2 into 22 by 7 into r is equals to 22. So what we can say that r is equivalent to 7 by 2 centimeter. So the radius will be equivalent to 7 by 2 centimeter, as simple as that. Next question. The number of solid spheres, each of diameter 6 centimeter, that can be made by melting a solid metallic cylinder of height this and diameter this. So again, what we have to do, that volume of cylinder is equivalent to n into volume of volume of cylinder is equals to n into volume of your spheres, or we can say solid spheres, right? Okay. So what is the volume of cylinder? Volume of cylinder is pi r square h. What is the volume of sphere? 4 by 3 pi r cube. So basically pi and pi can get cancelled out from here. The radius of the cylinder is given as 4 centimeter. So diameter is 4, so the radius will be 2. Height is 45. N into 4 by 3 r cube. The solid, the diameter is 6. So it is 3 into 3 into 3. 3 and 3 get cancelled out, right? 3 ones are 3, 3 fives are 15, 3 again, 3 fives are 15. 2, 4, 2. So how many? 5 shots. How many shots? 5 shots can be made. Clear? Let's move forward. The next question says, the surface area of two spheres are in the ratio 16:9. What is given? The surface area is given as surface area 1 upon surface area 2 is given to you as 16/9. The ratio of their volume we have to find out. So what is surface area, people, of sphere? 4 pi r square upon 4 pi r square is equals to 16/9. 4 pi cancel. So r1 upon r2 becomes 4 by 3. And if we calculate, we have already done this question. The answer was 64:27. We have done this previously. Right. Let's move forward to the next question. A solid right circular cone is cut into two parts at the middle of its height by a parallel plane. The ratio of the volume of the smaller cone to the whole cone. Right? What is it saying, people? That there is a cone. Right? Now this cone is just, cut into two parts. One part is this, of course, the other is frustum we are not talking about. So it is saying it is striked off in the middle. Right? In the middle of it. So basically they are asking the ratio of the volume of the smaller cone to the larger cone. And if it is striked in the middle, two solid right circular cone is cut into two parts at the middle of its height. So earlier if its height was, for example, 2h, now its height is left with half of 2h, that is h. And now the ratio of the volume of the smaller part to the larger part of the cone. Right? So we know that volume 1 upon volume 2. First of all, we have to take the smaller part, that is 1 by 3 pi r square h upon 1 by 3 pi r square r1 square h. right? So these are the two things that are given to us. Now we have to find out for the volume part, people. So let's do it. So basically over here what we can say, 1 by 3 and 1 by 3 will get cancelled out. Pi and pi will get cancelled out, right? The next thing we have is r1 square and r2 square, because the radius will again be different, right? So when we talk about this particular question, the radius will be different in this case. Now basically what we have to do, we have to find out the ratio. Now let's say basically radius, see over here the solid cylinder is cut into two parts at the middle of its height. Basically the two figures that will be formed from this particular question is these two. Now basically frustum is not involved. If you feel like ma'am, this is like a question of frustum of cone. So this is not a frustum of cone, people, because over here what do we have? We are asked for the ratio of the volume of the smaller cone to the larger cone. Okay, right. So basically volume 1 upon volume 2 is equals to r1 square upon r2 square, and the height over here it is 2h and over here it is h. So h and h will get cancelled out. H and h will get cancelled out, right? So over here the above part is h and in the below this is 2h. So h and h will get cancelled out and you will be left with 1:2. Right? Let's move forward to the next question. So a solid hemispherical at the bottom of a conical of the same radius above it, right? A solid hemispherical bottom, and it has a cone above it. The next we have is, if the surface area of two parts are equal, right, then the ratio of its radius and the slant height of conical parts. So you can do this as a homework question, because one type of this question we have already done, people, right? So you can complete this question as your homework question. Okay, so this was all for today. And we have one more question before ending. So the length of the diagonal of a cube is 6 root 3. So from here you should know that the diagonal of a cube is given by root 3a. And this is equivalent to 6 root 3. Root 3 cancel. You can calculate the side, and if they are asking for surface area, that means total surface area, that is 6a square, which is equals to 6 into 6 square, that means 6 cube gives you 216 centimeter square, option number B. So you should know certain formulas different from your course. That means diagonals of cube, diagonal of cuboid is given by under root of L square plus B square plus H square, right? And that is what the longest rod that is there. So I hope that all the questions that we have done and this entire chapter is absolutely clear to each and everyone out there. If you have any doubt, feel free to comment down so that I can answer each and every of your doubt. So take care of yourselves. We will meet in another lecture where we will be doing one shot of the next chapter. So thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.